Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. I'm locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, I'm all yours. Locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, your will, your will. Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. Have a collision with purpose, 'cause you know that you're worth it, and your dream is worth capturing. If I'm not living on purpose, then none of it is worth it. My assignment is uplifting souls for the King, souls for the King, souls for the King.
Hello, hello, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to In the Spotlight. This is the home of unfiltered conversations where real talk is what we do. I am none other than Donna Thompson.
I'm Dr. Laxley Stephenson, and we are your moderators. Donna, what's happening?
Oh, wow. You know, it's so funny. I'm used to saying another Monday, right? But I have to remember, hey, it's Thursday.
Yes,
So,
we're on a new night.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, brand new show.
Yes,
Yeah, Thursdays, right? And I think that's an awesome thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We're into the week, and mindsets are formed, and it's an opportunity for us to carry the experiences from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday, and to talk about stuff, right? So what an opportunity to be on a Thursday evening. Yeah, big stuff. So how you doing?
I'm great. I am grateful, humbled, and doing well. Happy to be here and made it to 2025. So what can I say?
What can you say? This is our first show.
Yes.
For the year. Yeah, first show. Yeah. So it's a big deal. We have a special guest on tonight coming all the way from Jamaica. So we're staying with our thing. We're a global movement. The Collision with Purpose movement is global. So it's fitting that our first guest should be from outside of the United States. How about that?
Not just only from outside of the United States, but also a place where we're both from. How special is that?
Well, the question was asked earlier, what did she say? Am I special or am I lucky? And we said all of the above. Because, sometimes a little bit of luck is a good thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right place, right time. I remember when I was doing my master's program, and there was a debate about what does luck have to do with anything? And one of our professors said a lot. We all need a little bit of that. It's not scientific now,
mm-hmm.
but we all need a little bit of that to get to our destination, right? So tonight, we're in the spotlight, the home of raw, unfiltered information where we leave nothing on the table. So we have some folks already join us, and we should welcome them to the show and ask that they, comment, ask question, and share the live. Because as you always say, sharing is what? It is caring, right? So, Donna, now, anything special, different going on with you in this new 2025?
You know, I think 2025 was what I'm coming into the new year kind of being a little bit more focused and intentional about the things that I'm doing and associating myself with. And within that, also managing my time appropriately so that I can be uh, fully effective in the things that I'm working on. So that's kind of how I've started my new year. Um, I'm kind of like the person I try to, if you ask me to help you, if I can figure it out, I'm going to do it, right? So I'm having to definitely learn this year that I have to manage my time to make sure that, I'm giving 100% into the things that I'm actually involved in. So I actually found myself today where I had to, I volunteered to do something. And then once I received more information about the details of this task, I found myself had to like scale back and say, I'd love to help you, but I can't. And that was difficult because normally I would figure it out.
Well, I think once you figure it out, you'll get back to helping all the time because that's who you are. You'll get back to that because that's a good place to be as well. But we must also make sure we replenish ourselves so that we can continue helping and giving. And I think that's where you are because, so much happened last year where you're in it.
Yeah.
So many different things, right?
Deep in it.
Different organizations and doing so much. So sometimes you got to pull back a little bit, and and I'll talk a little bit about that tonight about that truth mirror.
Yeah,
that's going to be my closing argument. And if you're watching us now, and I say, Angie, thanks for the big heart that you gave us. We appreciate it. And anyone out there watching, feel free, jump in the comments section, make your comments. Tonight, I'm going to say something about that truth mirror because I think that's an important piece of us, all important. And for this year, my commitment is to that thing, the truth mirror, recognizing who I am and not who I'm telling myself that I am, but the real, true essence of me. Who I am. So we'll have a little conversation about that towards the end. But big things are happening. And one such thing is our colloquium. And I'm going to play a quick little video and ask that you do what you do so well. Talk about it.
All right. So yes, Collision with Purpose presents a colloquium, your odyssey to find purpose. And this is going down February 22nd, 2025. This year, we've been talking about it for several months now, but we're right at almost our 30-day mark, right? Where this will be happening. It is our second event, and it will be taking place at the Shiloh High School here in Georgia, Snellville, Georgia. The tickets are still on sale for $60. So you still have an opportunity to get a really, really good price for the tickets. So jump on it, get your tickets. You want to have a seat in the room. Also, when you purchase your tickets, you do get a copy of Dr. Stephenson's new book, which we'll also speak about. But also, the evening is going to be packed with individuals that we're honoring in the community for the work that they've been doing. We're going to have entertainment. We're going to have speakers. So it's just going to be an evening of pouring into you. And there it is. There it is. Oh my gosh, it's on the screen. Daily Insights Unveiled, your odyssey to find purpose. Oh my gosh, there it is. That is that masterpiece that will be launched on February 22nd. And you have to be there because your ticket will guarantee you a copy of this book and actually a signed copy. So I am so excited. I can't wait.
And a masterpiece indeed, if I can say that, and just have to talk to the person who did the editing, and she will confirm that. You know, this book, you must just get your copy. That's all I have to say. Get your copy, come to the event. Your ticket purchase will guarantee that you receive a copy, a signed copy. Now, a big thing that we're doing, and all of our events, students attend for free. Students attend for free, and so far, I know for a fact that we're doing at least 6 scholarships we're giving away. Students, when you enter, we will collect your name, and during the event, we will raffle 6 scholarships. So if you're one of the, but you must be present. So if you're one of those lucky students, first of all, you made a decision and you're there, and you stay the course. You stand a chance to win a scholarship, and we're giving cash money in a white envelope. Cash money in a white envelope. We're handing it to you. We're one of our amazing donor, sponsor, I should say, secured at least 5 scholarships through her donation, her sponsorship. Right. And I know we'll get some more. So students, there's no charge for attending the event. So if you're watching this program, reach out to students in high school, middle school, and encourage them to be at the event. First of all, it's not just about the scholarship, but they don't want to miss this. We have a diverse group of people we're honoring. We have judge, pastors, people from all walks of life, different countries coming in. And we're honoring them for their in-service work, amazing things that they're doing in their communities. And we know that it is so important to give them their flower while we can and while they are here to receive it. So that's what this event is about. It is about recognizing people in the community who are doing amazing work. It is about recognizing dreamers, these young students who are the future of us, our communities, and recognizing them and just helping them, tapping them on the shoulder and said, here is a little support. Buy some books, do whatever you can. And so amazing stuff. And we'll have entertainment. We have a couple of singers coming in, and they can really sing. We have saxophone player, we have guitar player, so lots of stuff happening. Poetry, the whole works, right? So you came up with this name Colloquium, and it is a fitting name for what we do here at the Collision with Purpose movement. So that is it where that is concerned.
All right.
So I want to leave that book cover up there for a little longer.
Doors open at 5 p.m. and the event starts at 6. So, get there early.
And we do start on time around here. We're on the clock. We're on a time thing. So we're going to get it done in a timely manner. So let's welcome Angela. Thanks for watching. We have Karine, Samal, Miranda. Thanks for watching. She said, keep giving help. And just say, I'm looking forward to it. And we know we have a lot more folks on, but they're not necessarily making any comments. So, but we welcome them. Donna, let us take a quick break. Then we bring on our guest because we don't want to delay her any longer. What she's going to share with us tonight, we need to get to it. All right?
Okay, absolutely.
So we'll take a quick break and then we'll bring her on.
Sure.
I'm a boy kid, I'm a boy kid. I'm a boy kid, I'm a boy kid. I wake up in the morning and I praise the Lord. I thank Him for His protection and I walk in His steps, declaring that today's provision is set up for me. I love God and I love my friends. I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid. I put on my armor and I read His word, blessing come out of my mouth, cause I know to whom I belong. I am bold for Christ, Holy Spirit dwelling within me, carrying His presence wherever He sends me. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold I'm a bold kid. Loving others as he told me to pray for healing miracles to see, knowing my identity in Christ, he is in me. I am a bold kid, he loves me, standing firm on his word, proclaiming everything I heard, not afraid because he is with me. Be bold. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. Put on my armor, and I let his word blessing come out of my mouth, because I know to whom I belong. I am bold for Christ, Holy Spirit dwelling within me, carrying his presence wherever he sends me. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. You're watching In the Spotlight, conversations that make a difference, that matters, right? We have tonight my partner, my co-host, Dr. Donna Thompson, and she is going to introduce and bring our guest on.
All right. So before I do that, I'll just give a little synopsis of who our guest is. She's going to tell us all about herself and the great stuff that she's doing. So our guest this evening is none other than Mrs. Marsha McIntosh-Martin, but she holds some really important jobs. One is she's a mother, she's a parent, she's a wife. Those are very hard jobs. There's a lot of work. So I had to mention those first, because those are some real deal, right? Very, very difficult jobs to hold. So she hold those positions, but she's an administrator. She's an educator, and she's also an author. She has written several children's books, approximately 27 kids activity books that she has written, and she's currently working on additional books that she's still writing. And she's actually in the process of launching a new brand, which is Life L.I.F.E. Forever 2909, which she's going to tell us all about that. So without further ado, let us welcome our wonderful guest this evening.
All right, you bring her on, Donna. You bring her on.
All right, here we go.
And there she is.
Hello, and welcome.
Hi, good night, Dr. Stephenson, Dr. Thompson, and those who are on. Good night.
Wow. So you're coming to us from Jamaica. Are you in Trelawney?
Yes, I am. Stuart Castle, Duncan's to be exact.
Stuart Castle, a place that I really like a lot. Spend a lot of time there in Trelawney.
Oh.
Yeah, Silver Sands.
Oh.
Yeah, like it a lot. Nice place. If you're watching us tonight, go to Trelawney, visit Trelawney. Great place. So it's a plug for Trelawney, right? Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, nice place, nice place. So how you doing? How's everything going?
I am giving thanks. I think I have started the year in good health, in my sound mind. I have not lost any family member, no church member. We've lost a few community members, but overall, things are doing great.
So we're thankful.
Grateful. Sure.
Yes, grateful indeed. So I'm going to say Marsha, because, you have that hyphenated name.
All ends.
Right? MMM. Right. So, Dr. Donna gave a very brief introduction. Can you tell us who is MMM? Marsha McIntosh-Martin.
All right. So the mighty M's is what I refer to myself as sometimes. All right. So that's a profound question you've asked me. Not sure how well I can answer you, since I think to date no one is able to fully answer that question. But here are a few things I could tell you about me that you can kind of used to decipher who I really am. I first want to say I am a masterpiece created in the image and likeness of our Father God. I am fearfully and wonderfully made, and of course, a born-again child of the King. I am an educator ever since 2000. I'm an author, a mother, a wife, an aunt, a sister, a daughter, a friend. All right. I deeply value such things or virtues like spirituality. I value godliness, honesty, kindness, creativity, learning, gratitude, family, freedom, and justice. I am someone who connects with people pretty easily. I can connect with people at different levels in society. I can get to a madman and speak with him. And of course, within a split second, I can put on the approach for the King. All right, so I really fit in easily in whatever setting I find myself in. I am an excellent listener who is very supportive, respectful, and of course, I love to take initiative. I think as I go further into answering whatever questions you still have for me, then you can pin the other pieces to what I have just said to kind of come to a conclusion for self as to who I am.
Wow. Did she answer that question?
Mhm.
Did she answer that question? But, you are originally from Clarendon, place
Sure.
called Tweedside. Did I get that right?
You are correct. It's actually somewhat like a twin named community, like we have Stewart Castle and Carey Park, where I'm at now. So some people might say Stewart Castle, some say Carey Park. Like for me, I use Stewart Castle as my address. My husband uses Carey Park. So Tweedside is kind of a twinned name community with Wisbech. Actually, it is said that where my house was, or family house, that's exactly where Tweedside begins. So sometimes we say Tweedside, we say Wisbech.
So, growing up in Tweedside, I know it sort of shaped, you had to learn some lessons there that really shaped who you are today. So what were some of the lessons growing up as a young person into adulthood? What was it like?
I would use the word interesting if we're looking for a one word. I know that's not what you want, but it was rather a combination of various experiences. So in Jamaica, you say you have the good, the bad, the indifferent. So I would have experienced all of those growing up in Wisbech / Tweedside, Clarendon. All right, this is a community where I first learned how to love God, how to love self, and how to really love other people. I learned how to respect self and others in a very deep way. This is a place that really taught me how to value righteousness, how to shun evil, how to appreciate life, and what it really means to be humble. This place has taught me to maybe say, like Paul, I have learned how to both abase and abound, because I would have experienced everything. And so in whatever state I would have found myself in from that very community, I would have been taught several lessons that would really fit me into, I would say, fitting in any mold in society. So hence I can really say the person I am today is simply what you can call a grown plant resulting from the seeds, or that major seed that was planted back in Wisbech, Clarendon.
Wow. I know you're in Trelawney, of course.
Yes, ever since 2010.
So was it because of work why you went to Trelawney?
Well, work, but family work. I came here as a result of marriage.
Oh, that's a good That's a good one. And Donna really said it earlier, right? When you talk about being married, being a mother, Donna, I'm going to turn it to you.
Yeah, so I actually left Tweedside, Clarendon to live and work in Kingston, and then from Kingston to Trelawney.
Sure. Okay. Donna, you got it.
All right, so I want to back up a little bit because, like, reading
Sure.
in more in depth, your story, you mentioned that your birth was considered special by your mother. Can you elaborate a little bit about that? Like,
Okay, sure.
what is it about your birth?
All right, like
I'm not digging too deep.
I'm sorry.
I said, hopefully,
No,
I'm not
no.
digging too deep, but I just found that very.
No, I will know where to cut it. All right, so like every other birth, I would imagine every mother would have seen her giving birth to a life as something special, significant, meaningful. But as it relates to my birth, my mother, who is Miss Gloria Bennett, I take it that they're all on. She would have shared how while being pregnant with me, she bled so much, so often. She almost lost me several times over. And that's how she knew that I was a special child. God kept me. You know, they say, but God. Yes. So I was kept by the mercies of God in my mother's womb. On the night of my birth, another special sign was the fact that I was the only female born in the Maypen Hospital on that solemn night. And so she said they never needed to mark me. I was already marked by being just the only female in the room. And so she used that now as another confirmation to maybe determine within herself that, yes, this child is a special child. And, you know, it was only kind of recently I kind of pinned it now back to, oh, that's the reason I have always been close to males growing up than females. In high school, I would have had close females friends, but boy, the males and we were tighter. I guess I was with them ever since birth.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go on, Donna. I know you have some more questions.
Oh, I thought you were taking over. So, yeah, I mean, and if your mom is on, you know, I definitely, mom, if you're on watching us, I can definitely understand why you would have said that your daughter here is very special, because that's
I am.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So you spoke about, you know, the different schools. We're going to your childhood now, right? Like the different schools that you attended growing up. But you spoke about like the West Beach Basic School. Like what are some of your memories of your younger days at that school?
Oh Lord, those memories are as fresh as the morning dew and as clear as crystal. Yes. I am yet to understand why those memories linger so long. I tend to maybe have a little lapse with other schools, like the Kilsyth Primary. I can't recall too much of what happened there. But I sometimes wonder why the basic school's memory is so engraved in my mind, so etched in my mind. I remember all the teachers I had there. I had Gina Copeland, we called her Mama Gina. I had Hopi Thompson, we had called her Sister Hopi. We had Madge Williams, we called her Sister Madge, and the great Cynthia Buchanan, Sister Maxine. I won't say which was my favorite to save the problems. we had so much fun there as infants, learning our ABCs, counting 1, 2, 3. And of course, I really loved the song, which I would consider my favorite, 10 Green Bottles Standing on the Wall. I don't know if you know that one.
Can you sing it for us? Can you sing it for us?
Oh, Lord. Let me try. They would have used this to teach us math, more so subtraction. So it goes like this. 10 green bottles standing on the wall. 10 green bottles standing on the wall. And if one green bottle should accidentally fall, there'll be 9 green bottles standing on the wall. 9 green bottles standing on the wall. And if one green bottle should accidentally fall, there'll be 8 green bottles standing on the wall. 8 green bottles standing on the wall. And if one green bottle should accidentally fall, there'll be 7 green bottles standing on the wall. Let it go all the way down to 1. And then if that green bottle should accidentally fall, there'll be no green bottles.
And then what happened?
What was that?
When there's none, what's that all
then
about?
There'll be none, and then we would be laughing and all of that. And sometimes they use us as students to represent the bottles, and then when that one bottle would have fallen, then the child can either run away or just go flat on the ground. Wow. Precious memories. I can still remember the lunch. Go ahead.
Just watching you and listening to you talk, you had a happy childhood, didn't you?
Yes, I can remember the lunches. I remember playtime. I'm still seeing those toys. I don't know if you've had them. Those are the cube. You have square, you have triangle, 3Ds, and they have the holes in them and that little thing that you poke through them. It was fun. I had fun memories of basic school.
Oh, so it's like basic school. It's interesting, right? They made it like you played a lot of games.
Hands-on, yes. And most of the learning was done through songs.
Right, right. Wow.
No, you're in the education business. And from your experience, and you had such a happy childhood with great friendship. Is that what you're seeing now with the students nowadays?
All right, let me see how best to answer that question. I would say there's a shade of it, but nothing can beat the old days of going to school. Not seeing all of what we had, and we can understand the reasons behind all of that technology. Parents are younger now. We no longer have many of extended families. Quite a bit of things that are contributing to it. Societal norms are different, and so the way people communicate and interact with each other is quite different now. People are more so to themselves on their devices, doing the same sofa sitting down. So it's kind of way different now.
Things are different.
But there's still a little touch of it, but not as much as we would want to see.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, in your bio, you spoke about poverty being a challenge during your early years. You know, how did you and your family maintain, because you're quite an ambitious person, and your ambition didn't start today. How do you maintain that despite the circumstances, the situations that you and your family went through?
All right, poverty. I don't know if I could call it abject poverty. And but there was poverty. I don't think it's a word that is strange to Jamaicans on a whole. But of course, we would have had our fair share of lack, our fair share, and sometimes they want to maybe think more than fair share of not having what we needed to have. We would have suffered hunger many a times, but thanks be to God, we've never gone to bed without dinner. We can praise God for that. Never. Though you might have had to wait a long time up into the night before you could get the dinner, but God has been good. He was good, is good, and will always be good. We've never gone without dinner. Growing up was no walk in the park, that park out there for us, as we often lack the resources that we need. We lack the resources, but never the source, which is God. He remained with us. He was ever there with us because he had promised never to leave nor to forsake us. We lived a life that was hard. Or attend, if I am to speak about school in particular, to this day I laugh. We would have gone to school so poorly, so bad. We attended school few days. I think I have a boy in my class though, kind of somewhat like how I used to go. He's a little worse though, not a little, he's worse. But we would have gone to school so bad. Whenever we show up for school, and we grew up in a family of 11 grandchildren, an extended family. So there were 11 of us, 5 boys, 6 girls. We've had EO, education officers, coming to our houses or our home because we have been absent for extended period of time. Whenever we show up for school, let's call it visit then. Whenever we visited school, because you know the EOs come once in a while. So whenever we visited school, some of the teachers would say, the EO them come. So they would say, the EO them come. And the conference spoil up the register because they would have been more. The president now would be spoiling up the continuous absent. So they would be like, the EO them come. And the conference spoil up the register. But I can say that never got into the way of any of the 11 of us. I can go down from 1 to 11, but just that I'm not here to talk about them, and to prove that poverty is not the end, the be-all, end-all of a person's life. We had a family that was God-fearing. We grew up in the church. And so despite what was happening to us on the financial side and material side of life, and then you're going to maybe ask me, so how you were Christians and in poverty? But we're in a fallen world. And so we grew up like that. And despite all of these challenges, we had to stay in our yard. We could not go to people's homes. Not one of the 11 of us got into any trouble with the law. None ever stole from anybody, not even one. We grew up with such integrity that maybe you can say poverty was a style. Some people could maybe copy because we never looked anyway like we were dying and would want to trouble anything or beg anybody anything, though we never had it. Right. And so none of the 6 girls got pregnant out of school. None of the boys smoked. Nothing. All we knew was church. We were taught to hold our heads up high and that nobody should ever point their finger or be able to point their fingers at us other than saying something good. And so all of these that we would have gone through, I know were lessons that we would have learned. And of course, do I cherish those lessons? Yes. Do I want to live that life all over? No. But I would never put it aside for anything because it has made me, it has molded all of us into what we are today. Am I saying people need to come from poverty to shine? No. But I cherish the life I lived back in Clarendon. Like I am embracing this current life, I will never, ever want to forget where I am coming from.
Wow.
Never.
Never.
It's the story we talk about ever so often.
Never so, and you talk about it.
It keeps the family tight.
Yes, and you talk about it in such a light and joyful way that even with the challenges, there's so many things that you learn. And
because we were a happy family. We were a happy family. Still are.
Absolutely.
Still is.
Absolutely. Just want to say thanks to Kim Wright, Dash, Mabel Stewart,
Kim Wright, Dash, the mighty Kim.
Corrine Small, Miranda, Lisa Richmond, Beverly Ennis, Glendon McDonald, Gloria the Song. I believe I got the name right.
That's Gloria Bennett. That's my mommy.
That's your mom. Hi, mommy. How are you? And Keisha Brown, our good friend. Very good. When you do not forget our origin is what she said. Awesome. So we're going to take a quick break. Well, before we go to break,
Sure.
there's one cousin that you know, that's so important to you, Kim. And you
Kim.
all share some dreams as children. And how is
Yes.
Kim doing right now? How is she?
All right. How is she? If you're talking health wise, I think she is in perfect health. My grandmother say until the doctor see her. And so I think she's in perfect health if you're speaking health wise. As it
Well,
relates
what I would like
to,
you to do is just give her a big shout out, send her some love. That's what I would like you to do.
all right, Kim, big up yourself. You'll hear more about you as we go on. Just remain Kim.
Kim, just remain Kim. We're going to take a quick break.
Just remain Kim.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about family and support system. And Donna, you will lead off with that. So let's take a quick break, and let's do so with Shadows Within.
Caught in the web of what they said, lost in the expectations, living in hesitation. I walked in other shadows. Deep inside, a fire burned, a whisper turned to a roar. I am liberated from walking in other shadows. I walk in my authentic self, breaking chains within. From the shadows to the light, a new life begins, shining so bright. Society tries to mold you into someone you couldn't be, fighting through the darkness to find the real me. No longer bound by others' rules, let your spirit soar. With every step you take, you are stronger than before. I am liberated from walking in other shadows. I walk in my authentic self, breaking chains within. From the shadows to the light, a new life begins, shining so bright. Breaking away from the shadows within, I rise up and shine from deep within. A beacon of light I'll always be, living in truth, walking in victory. I am free, yes I am free. From the shadows to the light, I am free, walking in my truth, forever free, living in victory, shining brightly. I am liberated from walking in other shadows. I walk in my authentic self, breaking chains within. Breaking chains within. From the shadows to the light, I walk in my authentic self.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back to In the Spotlight, Conversations That Matters. Our guest tonight is Mrs. Marsha McIntosh-Martin. And this lady is just laying it out, telling us on what a happy childhood, even with challenges. That smile is still shining, shining, shining. And she brought everybody with her tonight, because her mother, her cousin, her uncle, her aunt, her friends, everybody she brought. So we appreciate that, Marsha. We appreciate that. Donna, just say a little bit about Shadows Within. Tell Marsha what that is all about. Shadows Within.
Yeah, so Shadows Within is an anthology where, you know, there'll be several co-authors basically writing a chapter within this book, you know, speaking about their life, right? Their life journey as far as living in others' shadows, you know, other people's expectations, or just what society say you should do or you shouldn't do or you should be, you know, kind of like when you think about like as your childhood growing up, you know, there may have been sometimes, you know, remarks like, you know, you're not going to do this, or this kid is going to turn out to this. And, you know, people put these things on you as far as who you should be, right? Versus who you're really created to be. So Shadows Within is really just, you know, us coming together, sharing those stories and how we really break free, break those chains from those society expectations, and really, you know, beginning to live that true authentic life as far as who our creator really created us.
To be.
Right. So, and that's that body of work will be about, and hopefully impacting individuals where they'll find their path so that they can get onto that true path that they should be living and find their purposeful life, right? And not continue to necessarily live in someone else's shadows, but really start really living in their own and just becoming that full person.
Sure.
And that's what it's all about.
All right. Thank you for
Nice.
explaining that, Donna. Donna, so let's get to family and support system, because family played a big, big role in Marsha's life. So you got
Yeah,
They still do.
and we can see that because everybody's here.
So we must talk about family and call out anyone you want to call out. It's not,
Yes.
right?
I don't want to get in any trouble, but
Big them up.
big them up. All right.
One's here. Well, let me ask you, because
What was that?
one thing you
Oh,
did
go
mention
ahead.
earlier, Marsha, is that your grandmother basically raised or she was very important,
Instrumental. Yes.
in 11 of her grandchildren, right? 11 of her grandchildren upbringing. If you could just share with us, her name is what, Mrs. Elizabeth Bennett? Yeah, if you could just share with us, like, how she influenced your values and even your spiritual growth and that foundation that she built for you.
Oh, Lord. I would say, Lord have mercy. We had a grandmother who was something else. When I say something else, all caps, a big something else. Dr. Stephenson and Dr. Thompson, I am going to seek your permission now to just speak in my Jamaican language. I love to speak in Patois. And I am asking for permission to do that as I speak about my grandmother, our grandmother. And that's because to date, I still have not learned how to translate her into English. So if I'm permitted, I'll be chipping in and out, standard English and our Creole.
The good thing is that we can understand what you're saying, because we speak Patois too.
So go
All
ahead.
right, nice. So I'm not in a strange land. All right. So that woman, we could say she could conquer the world. She had so much strength, not just physical, no, but mind strength, mental strength. She had a mouth. She had a will. I don't know, she was just strong altogether. Though we grew up in an extended family, there would have been other males and females who were adults around us. Our grandfather, of course, was also there. But this lady was the bedrock of the family. She was the backbone. She was colorful in every way. She was lovely. She was kind. Miserable, tasty, fear no foe, loved and serve God, fear no evil. She called herself Dreadnought. She was just a powerhouse, and a source of influence in many, many ways. And so to have grown up with her, I guess some of the people who are unknown, maybe especially from my workplace and current church or so, might be saying, oh, no, we know why Sister Marsha is like that, or no, we know why Mrs. Martin is like that, or no, we know why Miss Mac is like that. Yes. So a lot of the tenacity that I have and this fearlessness, like her, I fear no foe, a lot of these things I have within me is because I grew up in an extended family. I would want to say steered by her, but greatly influenced by her. She was just something else. She was also called Miss Lizzie, shortened Elizabeth, because everybody had a pet name in those days coming up. everybody in the house had to be a Christian. There's no asking. She had tell you, say you have to turn Christian. Everybody in the house will have to be a Christian. My grandmother was no nowadays grandmother. She come from the way, way back. Nothing of nowadays was in her. Way, way back. Everybody have to turn Christian. Every altar call, you have to be there. All when you did go and say you saved last night, if an altar call is being called tonight, you have to go and back up an altar and put up your hand again and say you're saved. And so we've been saved over and over. As often as the meetings were being held, we got saved. She decided she was so dedicated to her church and God that Mama would save up her offering from way up in the week. The first set of money she gets, she's gonna take out her offering, tie it up in her on one end of her handkerchief, and that I got tucked away in her bag. Not even hunger could cause her to break that money. Not even to buy sugar. So let's say the sugar was finished and we said, Mama, sugar done. She would be, I mean, our friend one may have a man and brokey. So, you know, she said, the water and drink it. Mm-hmm. Not even hunger could cause her to break her offering. As children, we would have to save our offering as well. And we could not take coins to church, nor dirty money. She said, those must go to shop. We can't carry them to go give God. And so we would have to save up our offering and take it to church. No coins, no dirty money, nothing. That's how she loved and respected God and the house of God. She devoted herself for several years with us as grandchildren to cleaning and caring for the church. So every Saturday we would go to church, clean the church. Of course, because it was so many of us, one set would be going to the church to clean, another set would be at home working, maybe another set doing all kind of stuff. But I grew up in a family where the work was split. So you don't have no nice miss or nice cute sir sitting down and somebody else working. So everything was divided up. Those going to church, the church has 3 seating sections. A rostrum, it has a veranda and a back building, live-on section. So from that, everybody would have started talk with them. Me I clean the man's side, me clean the middle, me want the woman's side, however, like that. The rest of them on the veranda. And me sweep up the yard. And so it is split. The work was split and everybody go and you know where to do. She would be the overseer for us and tell you what to do and when to do good and all of these things. And we did that for years. Wash the towels, keep them at home when there's function. Then the towels will be taken back to church for with the Lord's Supper, whatever functions we were having. And so we grew up just serving the church. I would say mandatory because she decided it would have to be done. We would have to do it. No, my grandmother, you could not stop from church. We would have to go to church whether you're sick, lame, or lazy. Now, if we are going to ever get up with a belly ache to not go to church, you better be having that belly ache from about Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Can't come on Saturday night. It can't come on Sunday morning. So you have to be sick a few days. No sudden sickness is going to stop you from church. She said, when you come and go to church, same way. When you grow in the mama, Lil, we pray for you. That is our pastor's wife. Her name was Sister Lila Davis. So she would say, Mama Lil, we pray for you. When I go to church. Oh boy, it was something else growing up with her. She was the kind of lady now who we had no chance of even tasting bun and cheese when it comes to Easter time on a Good Friday until way up in the evening after Easter Friday, Good Friday service has ended. No fire could light in the house, no stove could light, nothing. My grandmother would say, no fire, no light, but they have this thing, burn up Jesus. And we could not light any fire. Everybody have to go on fasting. And of course, sometimes some of us are going to teeth and eat something, but can't make sure know. All right? And so we had to wait until after the service ended and up in the evening before we could ever put anything to our mouth. On Sundays, most of the Sundays, everybody have to fast. And I'm talking, we're young children. My grandmother decided, a Sunday morning, everybody must fast. And so we would have to go and fast, even though we were young. And it's crazy sometimes when you think of it, though, funny, the things that we would have to endure and go through, though we enjoyed some of them. And for now, I wouldn't trade them for anything. All right. When it comes to disciplining us, nothing was sacred. When I say nothing, nothing would be held back. Nothing was sacred. If it's the broomstick, you're going to get the lick for
That's
it.
what you're going to get.
If it's a glass of water she had in her hand, you'll get wet. One duck she had with the cup of water. And so nothing was sacred. There was nothing that she would say, oh, me can use this. No. If it's the shoe, she'll take it off her foot and seal it after you. So nothing was held back from her using to really bring about discipline. If it's a good thumb, she used to call it tough. She went tough you in your back. All right. And so I also can recall several times when she would want to beat us. I have 2 uncles in specific. She had 6 boys. They had together 6 boys and 2 girls. But, you know, some would have migrated, whether locally or internationally. And so I can vividly recall 2 of them, Uncle Darrell and Uncle Devon. When he would have asked them to get the stick to beat us, they would go to the trees and cut those little fine branches. But what they would do, especially Uncle Darrell, he would screw them around in joints, screw them around. So by the time she started hitting us, she started hitting up, they would just be breaking apart. And man, she was mad. She would be mad.
Wow.
She would be mad, but it was fun. I can also recall how she would just say to us when we were younger and going to church. I mean, we weren't bad children from what you can see and hear now, and I'm not pretending. We just weren't bad because we weren't allowed to be and we couldn't be. But, you know, for those people in those days, when you know no manners, I want simple look at something they say you don't have the manners for. Simple. Because they took being mannerable seriously those days. And so if at all she would like give a command and we maybe took too long to move, because you know in those days as they thought you're then making spit a ground and it dry before you come back, right? And if she gave a command and we took too long to respond to the command to move, she took it further than just dealing with it at home. She went straight to church. She would tell our youth president, Sister Maxine, that was one of the basic school teachers I mentioned. Sister Maxine, Sherry and Kim must sing on the choir today. If it's Youth Sunday, let's say it happened before Youth Sunday. When we go to church, I am pet named Sherry and Kim. Her real name is Kimo, but her pet name is Kim. So when we go to church, she would say, Sister Maxine, and she was always doing body gestures. Sherry and Kim must sing on the choir today. If it's Kadian with my other sister, Kadian or Tanisha, Kadeen, we call her Cutty. Cutty, they must sing on the choir today. Sister Maxine would say, why, Sister Lizzie? She's not giving her a reason, you know. All right, put them up there, you will sing me. She would be like, all right, put them up there and see if me you not have it out. Sister Maxine could not put us up there because she knew then that of course this woman named Sister Lizzie come all the way for the choir. She's coming up there because she did it. She's coming up there. If she ever put us up there, she's coming up there to take us down. Wow. Another cousin of mine, a male cousin of mine, Kim's brother, his name is Andre. He used to play the drum. And I remembered once, he kind of never responded to her command as quickly as she thought he should. Mama got church. Mama said, Sister Maxine, Andre not playing on drum around here today.
She was serious.
Yes.
The
It's
boss.
the manners and I'm going to God house.
She was a true boss. Grandma
And
Lizzie never play.
Grandma Lizzie.
But
Yes.
Never.
It's
then, if
Andrea and Andrea playing on drum on here today.
you think about it, she had 11.
Yes.
Well,
And go ahead.
now I'm just thinking that as rigid and forceful and disciplined, all of that played out well for you, didn't it?
Yes, it worked out well. It worked out fine because beyond that was a woman who was so loving. She would give her heart for us. She was caring. I remember vividly us coming from school when it rains, because you know what time when we go to school and it rained, of course we're going to go under every pipe and wet yourself again from head to toe. We're going to do all these crazy things as kids when it rained. And as soon as we got home, she would make us some hot tea and tell us to change your clothes and all of these things. She was very caring and loving. She would do just about anything for us. But I'm telling you, when she got onto that other side, she would say, no, sir, me a dreadnought. And then she would say sometimes, on the switch month me born, because she was born May. On the switch month me born, see much water I can chew.
And
Clear
that
with
note,
me.
and that note, you know, religion, spirituality is a big piece, and she really instilled that
Yes,
in you.
yes,
But
we had to be saved.
where did this thing
Had to
about
be saved.
education? Where did this thing about education, you know, came from into your life? Because you know, went to Bethlehem Moravian Teachers College.
Sure.
You what pursued multiple degrees, including now you're doing a master's in counseling and psychology. Where did that all come from?
All right. So even though we would have gone to school not as good as we should have, but within the family, there was still this appreciation, deep appreciation for knowledge and education. We knew from then, though we could not afford it at the time, but we knew it was what we needed to have, or we need to have it. And so it was something that was instilled in us. And I think a lot of our learning came from the Bible, because with her too, we had to have had devotions every Sunday morning. And she had telephoned last week, we're going to do it this week. And it goes like that. So there was always rotation in our family. We had to have our devotion. Every Sunday night is Bible game, Bible drill, sword in hand, these things. And so we would have learned from there to value script, then let's put it like that. So from then, we would have been sent to school when we could go. And of course, they were expecting good results. If it's even one day, there should be good result. And so it all worked out for our good. I want to believe all of us were born with what Jamaicans call good brains. I can't pinpoint any of the 11 of us who you can say struggle to learn. No, it doesn't matter how hard or bad we would have gone to school, we were always performing well. Thanks be to God, who honors faithfulness, and sometimes he rewards you differently. Maybe a part of him rewarding our faithfulness to him would have been allowing us to perform well, even though we would have missed out a lot from not being in school. I don't know if I've answered your question well enough.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
I'm doing great. Thank you.
You're doing great. Because what about students at Duncan's? And I see that Duncan's, someone from the school is logged on the program watching. So
Sure.
Clearly your influence there is very strong. You know, what's your experience there as a teacher in the grades that you're teaching? Are you seeing that level of enthusiasm for education?
All right. I want to speak broadly before specifically to Duncan's. As I could say, as a world, that push for education is not so much as it was in times past. I am not seeing where this generation is wanting book. We call it book. I'm not seeing where they're wanting book the way we wanted book. I think they're more for the devices, the name brand shoes, the name brand bag, how much money them have in their pocket, and all these things. And so that great desire and zeal and zest and all of these for education, for book and learning, I am not seeing it wide scale. Now to come to Duncan's, the same thing would apply. So we are not unique in any way where that is concerned. But of course, you know, the entire world will not be popping down. There are few people still, just like God will have a remnant, there are still remnants in the school system who are still focused, wanting to learn, have that parental support behind them, and also personal convictions and knowing what they want. And so they're taking their work seriously. And of course, you will have those who couldn't care less one bit.
Mm-hmm. Donna, I'll turn it to you.
Yeah, so, you know, I see that, you know, just like, you know, we're talking about school. Do you find what if you could tell us like what experience you've had in your education career, and what do you find to be most rewarding for you in that sector?
All right, in the education sector, there are so many things that are rewarding. I know we don't have time, and you can pick up already. I'm a long speaker. All right. So if I were to give you one thing, my most cherished and continued cherished thing is to see students who were non-readers, what we call can't read, start to read. Is to see children who had no manners get a grip of themselves and behave like children and find focus and move forward. Maybe because of how I grew up, I kind of have little tolerance for what we could call no manners. I kind of have little tolerance for that because of how I grew up. I just think children should have it. And so that's a part of what really thrills me when I see a child who represents a home that is intact. And as I said, the primary one is to see a child who was not reading start to read.
Wow. Well, you know, reading is important, right?
Yes.
So we communicate, and how we learn through reading. Now we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about your commitment to humanity and all that you're doing there, because all right, so let's take a quick break. You're watching In the Spotlight, Conversations That Matters. Donna, we're going to play that bold kid thing one more time, because I think we have some boldness here on stage. So let's play it again.
I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. I wake up in the morning and I praise the Lord. I thank Him for His protection, and I walk in His steps, declaring that today's provision is set up for me. I love God and I love my friends. I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid. I put on my armor and I read His word, blessing come out of my mouth, cause I know to whom I belong. I am bold for Christ, Holy Spirit dwelling within me, carrying His presence wherever He sends me. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. Loving others as He told me to pray for healing, miracles to see, knowing my identity in Christ, He is in me. I am a bold kid, He loves me, standing firm on His word, proclaiming everything I heard, not afraid because He is with me. Be bold. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. Put on my armor and I write His word, blessing come out of my mouth, because I know to whom I belong. I am bold for Christ. Holy Spirit dwelling within me, carrying his presence wherever he sends me. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid.
Right, welcome back to In the Spotlight, where we're having conversations that matters. And our guest today is one bold lady, Mrs. Marsha McIntosh-Martin. So Donna, let's talk about her contributions to humanity, and you lead off.
Yeah, so definitely with the last segment and speaking about how you would envision children, right? The children learning to read and all that stuff, right? So with that, I want to ask you, how is it that your professional achievements have actually aligned with your passion for helping others?
All right. So I would say all the achievements I have had: a diploma in teaching, a diploma in coaching and NLP, bachelor's in education, a master's in business administration, a master's in human resources management, and currently doing a master's in education. And I have a master's in counseling psychology pending. I would say all of those form a combination of a reservoir then of knowledge and experience, expertise, skills that really kind of tool me or help to tool me into how I approach life in general, how I approach my job as a teacher, my role as a mother, as a wife, and even, strange enough, how to live a Christian life. Because within these, you'll find certain skill sets and principles that can also help to guide you. But how they sync now with my being in education and my passion to see children read is that it would help me, or it has been helping me, to kind of form some assessment. I'm not trained as it is to assess children. Well, as I have said, training, no. I also have this diploma in training and assessment. And so it has helped me to understand where people are coming from in general. That you have to know that people have different backgrounds, different kinds of upbringing, and that there are a myriad of things that can cause a child to lack the ability to read. And now, having realized that people come from varied backgrounds, there are multiple reasons or factors that could contribute to a child not reading, some before birth, some during birth, some after birth, some as a result of nutrition, some is genetics, many factors. Then you now understand that having an idea of some of the factors, you have to now try to maybe pinpoint, zero in on what factors could be affecting a particular child. Having found it, whether the child needs to be assessed or whether it is just something on the surface where you, the classroom teacher, can deal with just some added activities and maybe extra lessons. So all of these together would have given me kind of a steering way of approaching how I deal with kids. And from there, how do we now get this child to where he or she, because you have to develop the interest, you have to get rid of the fear, because sometimes it's simply fear, nothing more than fear. So once you would have identified the cause, it's now to kind of find how are you going to bring about a solution to the problem? What methods do you use? How long will this approach take or this process take? And giving feedback along the way. So all of these different areas of studies and achievement, I would conclude saying kind of build that caring approach to how I kind of sync my passion
For helping.
of seeing children progress.
So let me ask you, with that, is there do you have a memorable moment where everything that you've done may have had a significant impact on someone in your community? And if so, if you could share that with us.
All right, I would say several. I would say several. If I go back to my home church, my home community, I have vivid memory. I don't know, I have good memory, thank God. I have vivid memory of us growing up as young people. And my home church, I want to say that I would have gotten all the foundation I think I needed from there. I would have served, I was given the opportunity to serve in basically all the leadership roles except being a pastor and those kind of roles. But I would have taught all the levels. I would have been youth president. I would have been on choir praise team, everything. Your teacher, they said that you do everything. So I would have had that kind of a level of interaction with people on different fronts. And so even today, I can still run into them. I can still talk with them. I want to believe Bishop Lionel Lewin is on, which was one of my Sunday school students. He is now in ministry. We would have had him come to our home church now we're at in Duncan's to minister during our convention. And of course, I was so proud of him. If you're on, Rev, big up yourself. And so he would have come and he came and he shared. And of course, what he did was well received. I can speak of many. If I am speaking school-wise, I would have touched so many lives. I think of back in Kingston, where I taught at the City of Refuge Children's Home, wards of the state. I was so open to those kids. You would not believe. I can remember vividly, I'm going to call her name, but not the last name. Vanessa would say, Miss Martin, Miss Mac, because McIntosh used to call me Miss Mac. Miss Mac, how you do it? I said, what? You're a nicest teacher, you're a roughest teacher. How you do it? You're a nicest teacher, you're a roughest teacher. So, because I have those kind of boundaries. So, as girls, because I lived on compound, on campus, they could come in my room. Believe me, they wore my clothes. They're going out, they could come in, take out my clothes and wear it. But they better know they're wearing the clothes, but I'm the teacher, they are the student. And they come in class tomorrow morning, we never see them yesterday. Class situation we're dealing with. And so I would be on them, and then by school over, they come down there in my bed and they get this and they put on and they're gone. But I'm just switching like that. So she was always saying, Miss, how you do it, Miss Mac? How you do it? But and now many of them, because they all would have passed for top schools in Kingston, most of them now they're on the international scene, lawyers, whole lot. They have progressed so well. I can also talk of Duncan's where I'm at now, where when I came here in 2010, my first time teaching in Duncan's All Age, or at Duncan's All Age, was 2013. I did a term for a teacher who went on leave. Then I went back again, I think 2014. If my first wasn't 12, my first was 12, I went back 13. And the first was 13, I went back 14. For another term, vice teacher was off on leave in the special education unit. Then in January of 2020, I was called back to come and serve with a secluded group of students who I think maybe was a challenge. I got those kids and man, it was a work, and pretty soon, but thanks to God, the bond was already developed. And in no time, COVID separated us and we were flung online. But I eventually got those students from grade 4. I got them back in grade 5, and I got them back in grade 6. Man, it was a pleasure to watch them walk down the aisles in graduation. So much transformation, so much rebuilding, so much change, so much maturity. It was just an awesome thing. And so even to date, I would have loved all the sets I have had at Duncan since then. But that set, because I had followed them from grade 4 straight to graduation, I have vivid memories of all of them. I have a special connection with that set. And of course, they are now in high school, and some, as you know, would be doing well and others not, but they're staying the course.
Right.
Yes.
All right.
Someone said you did wonders with that group. All capital letters.
All capital. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. I just want to acknowledge some of the folks who are watching us, our friends of the A Collision with Purpose movement. We have Dr. Joan T. Randall, thanks for joining us. Lisa Richmond, thanks for joining. We have Tanisha Leisha Young, thanks for joining. She says she's loving it. We have my good friend and a teacher, a lifelong teacher, Mrs. Hilda Hibbert. She said education is the key to open doors. And of course, she would say that she's a teacher,
Yes.
and always will be a teacher, right? We have Kareem.
Once a teacher, always a teacher.
Always we have Kareem. Miranda again. Yeah, so Glenda McDonald, Carisha. Yeah, so lots of folks. Dr. Lexi Johnson, she's online with us, and Miss Dr. Garfield McCook is on. So said thanks for your dedication, for all that you do. I'm sure he wouldn't single out the one thing. Now, before we go any further, this is a challenge for you, Sister Marsha. I'm gonna call you Sister Marsha.
What's that?
That's how you introduce yourself to me. Sister Marsha, this is a challenge for you. You've
What's
played. I'm gonna wait. Yeah, give me a chance. I'm gonna give it to you. Give me a chance. Now, you've played big time role in so many people's lives, right? Students, church, family, friends, all over the place, right? You've done wonders. Now, I want you to single out one person. You can only do one person. And I want you to give them their flower for what they did for you. You call out their name, whatever you want to do.
That's not a question you should pose with one option. But since you're the host.
That's right. That's right.
Since you're the host and you don't counsel the counselor, all right, I'll have to honor. If I am going to choose one person, are you talking one person as in human?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So if I have to pick out one person, which is a hard task to do, then of course it's going to be my mother, who brought me into this world. Because had not that been the case, then nobody else would have had privilege of meeting me, knowing me, sharing with me. Neither you would have the opportunity right now to be interviewing me. So big up yourself, Gloria Bennett Duzang. Want you to know that I am happy the day you gave birth to me. All of your 5 children love you, and we will continue to appreciate you.
Wow.
Do I list any more?
I mean, you can. You're our guest. You can list a couple more, 3 or 4 if you want to, but we just wanted to single out that one person.
Single out one? Okay.
But if you like
all right. So you're getting me in problems, no?
That's why let's keep it at one. Let's keep it at one.
Keep it at one. Yes.
Let's keep it at one. You know, we're drawing down and closing out, but before we go, you know, you have learned many lessons over your lifetime so far, right?
A whole lot.
Looking ahead, let's tell us about dreams and aspirations and where you're headed.
All right. As it relates to my future, which is in God's his hands. I, like everybody should, have several dreams and aspirations. I want to say, because there are no unnecessary lessons in life, I always say we only have not yet found where to apply the lessons we have learned. So every lesson is important, whether it's good, bad, or in between. All lessons in life are important. They're meaningful. With them, those you've learned, they kind of help to thrust you into what lies ahead. They will help you how to navigate, how to choose, how to reject. And so as I move forward, there are several dreams and aspirations that I do have. The primary one is really to continue serving God and to keep his commandments. I have no other choice but to serve him, not because I'm compelled or forced by him to do so, but out of love for him and all that he has done. I will have to have that as my primary dream and aspiration, to just continue living a meaningful life for God. I would have learned that you're asking for dreams and aspirations, right? And not lessons learned. Am I mixing up?
Let's talk about
What did you ask?
Dreams and aspirations.
Dreams and aspirations. Okay. So I really, as I said, want to be serving God as my dream and aspiration. Number one, I want to continue supporting my husband in ministry. He pastors 3 churches. I want to continue being a good wife, or to improve upon, because there's always room for improvement. Being the wife God wants me to be the mother he desires me to be, that educator he intends for me to be, that friend, that listener, that encourager, that person who is just there for others. I want that to be a big part of my dream, where people can feel free and open to come to me, to approach me, and to seek help and advice. I think I want to, in the future, well, I would say I've started, but I'm looking at me being an evangelist of hope, faith and hope. And I think that is inspired by my grandmother. I think I also want to be a financial evangelist, an evangelist of the word of God as well. I think I have a big dream of sharing in the end time glory. So that will take a lot of work, but that's a part of my dream and aspiration. I also want to continue serving my school, my place of work, to the best of my ability, serving in church, as I said, to the best of my ability, serving my family and the state to the best of my ability. As it relates to like personal branding and those now, I wish to continue. I would have started quite a few things. My aspiration is to continue writing books and self-publish, as I have been doing. I also desire to launch out into websites. I have YouTube channels. I want to just do what I can while I am alive and well to help myself, my family, church, school, and community. I have a desire to just be a resource person that people can tap into for whatever they need. So I try to my granddad says, shore up yourself. I try to shore up myself to the best of my ability. My mother says, shore up yourself. So I shore up myself as best as possible, so that when people who are in need for whatever, I can help to meet the need.
Wow.
And so my dreams and aspirations are, if you want to say, endless, because They're just big and wide. But in essence, to help self and humanity to really come to purpose as to what God would have created them for, expecting of them to live, not just for now, but for eternity. How do we impact life now for eternity?
Well, time is of the essence, right? And
Yes.
we're at that time. But before we go, I want to give you an opportunity to give us a closing argument. Maybe something that you wanted to say that you didn't get a chance to say, but give us a wrap up from your perspective.
From my perspective, are you expecting a wrap up as in a thank you, or just
whatever is on your mind?
Overview of
whatever is on
my mind. All right. So I want to say thank you to all the people who would have showed up. Key person behind this night is Sister Carissa Brown. Pick up yourself, Sister Carissa. I want to thank you for exposing me to this opportunity. And of course, we've been in several things together, and I'm not seeing us parting ways. And so we're going along together. And again, thank you for this opportunity. I thank you, Dr. Stephenson and Dr. Thompson, for having consented to do an interview with me. I thank my church family for coming on. I thank my school family. I thank my home family, my husband and kids, my 2 girls, for their continued support. I thank my extended family, my happy family, for their continued support. We're just behind each other in whatever we do. And so I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank God for having given me life. And upon giving me life is that he continues to sustain that life. He continues to provide. He continues to protect, to reassure, to maintain. He's just good all the time. He continues to prove himself to me over, and I'm feeling a little teary. He continues to prove himself to me over and over again that, yes, I have your back. And so time and time again, when I think things are not going to work out, it says when the sisters thought it was 4 days and Jesus was just too late, it says, isn't it great that even 4 days late, he's still on time. We serve an on-time God. And so all we have to do is rest in him, believe in him, trust him. Go back again to Mama. I had this Mama who just believed God, maybe that's without sense. She just trusted and believed him, even with her very death. And I don't know if you want me to share her death story, but she trusted him so much, even to the point of her death. That story brought nurses leaving work to come to her funeral just to share her death story. That's the kind of maybe legacy I want to leave, or a part of the legacy I want to leave, where I am so faithful, so full of faith in God, that even in death, it's meaningful. Yes. Wow. I would appreciate sharing her death story because it means so much to me, and could be an inspiration to others as to what it means to really hold on to God, not letting go, and also getting from God what you desire. Yes.
You say you want to share a story?
If I'm allowed.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
All right. So I can remember that she had sugar diabetes, and most of the grandchildren would have left home. So I was left there along with Kim and Tassika, who is my smaller sister, the baby sister. So all three of us would have been there, and then Tessica migrated to be with mommy overseas, and then Kim and myself would have been there with her. I remember she always said she did not want to die at home. Whatever it is, no one dead at home. Me not dead here for giving her no trouble. That was always her saying. Me no one dead here for giving her no trouble. She wants to die in the hospital. I remember she would have, in those days, we had missionaries coming in the community, white people coming in the community. And so she had gotten a damage to one of the toes, the little toe, between the little toes. And she would have gone to them for dressing. And they told her, okay, what of you? It's good to go, just come back now and then to have them fix it. She went to the doctor, our family doctor, then was Dr. Robinson in Spalding. And when she went to him, Dr. Robinson said, Miss Bennett, your foot all right, man. Continue going to the missionaries to have them dress it. Nothing serious, nothing major. He said, no. Write a letter and send me to the hospital. She was that serious of a woman. She would call for my bigger sister, Andrea, to come up, and Martin, which is Kim's bigger brother, to come up. I think she loved those two very much. She loved all of us, but I think she had some closeness with those two too. And she would send for them to come up and ask them to take her to the hospital, because they were living in West Hanover. When Dr. Robinson wrote the letter for her to go to the hospital, she said, put urgent on it. Dr. Robinson wrote the letter. She said, read it, let me hear. When Dr. Robinson read the letter and he read the urgent, she said, okay, all right, give me it. And she went to the hospital to be admitted. She asked for the letter to go there, you know. She went to the hospital to be admitted. They said they admitted her. While she was there now, and you know, they're getting ready to get her bed and all these things, there was this man in the community who she really loved. His name was Joseph. And she took off the kerchief off her head. And I remember that she used it to tie his head. There was this other lady who lived a little way from our home. She had a good relationship with her too. She said to her, when you go down, then girl make you go in a closet and you take out any clothes that you want. She said to the same lady, Sister Roni, she said, when you go up a town and buy one pamper for me. She was that kind of woman. Because they had decided that they were going to cut the toe, cut it off. She said, no, I come here in one piece, and see how me come here, see when I go back to dad. She used to call God dad. See when I go back to dad, not one piece of my body now cut off. See when I go back to dad. So she asked the lady to get her one pamper uptown. The nurses said, no, don't get it for her. She's asking to die. So she said, Sister Rod, you hear what me said? Go get the pamper. And she went and she got the pamper and brought it down for her. In the night, now after they put up drip and everything on her, and she was in hospital for I think a few days, because she died on the 27th of January that year, 2003. So while being there a few days, I think 2 days, she went in like the Monday, died the Wednesday, the Tuesday. So my uncle was planning to come down the Wednesday, and all other people were planning to come. So she said to them, the nurses, they had put drips on her. When the doctor came to visit her in the night and asked for the drips, the drips were out. So they said, Miss Bennett, what happened to the drips? She said the angels came and took them out. Baffled everybody because the drips were out. She said the angels came and took them out. They were giving her meals. She said, no, I am on a journey and I cannot eat. When you're on this journey, you cannot eat. Baffling everybody in the hospital. When she was there and they were saying, Miss Bennett, she said, you don't hear the angels. You don't hear the angels sing. You don't see the band of angels singing. You don't see them coming and they're forcing. She said, no, I am on a journey. And when you're on this journey, you cannot eat. And it was just something else. They said in the night, she called one of the nurses to the bedside and said, say the Our Father prayer for me. They said, no, Miss Bennett, not do it. Because she was strong, just the foot. And she decided she would not cut it. Before they cut off the toe, because that's one toe they wanted to cut, she's going back home to God. That's what she told them. Before you cut it, me, I'll go back home to God. Same like how me come, same way me going in one piece. The night she called the nurses to come to the bedside and say the Our Father prayer for me. I said, no, Miss Bennett, man, you're strong. Nothing to do you. Say it. And they said, she said, no, say it. And then they forced her and said, you can't say it, you're strong. And the nurse started it and told her, said, all right, you finished the prayer. And when she said the prayer, and she reached the last word, she said, amen, close her eyes. That was it.
Wow.
That was it. They had to come to the funeral to share. They said they had never seen anybody dying like that. She kind of channeled her way through from sickness straight to death, handing herself over into God's hand. They had to come to the hospital, numbers of them, to the funeral, to share her death story, talking about a woman who was resilient, determined, and decided that not even anything, nothing could separate her from what she wanted from God.
Wow.
She was fearless, taking bulls by the horn, and a woman of faith and courage. That one was a shocker, but a very lovely passing.
Thank you for sharing that. I'm glad appreciate you sharing that. Donna, let me say something real quick and then you will take us out, okay?
Okay.
First, let me say thank you to our amazing guest, Sister Marsha. What you've shared with us tonight, you've genuinely added serious depth to our journey here on In the Spotlight.
I'm happy.
In our movement, the Collision with Purpose movement. And we're so grateful for you. So
Thank
grateful. And continue to do what you're doing. And we invite you to come back on because I know we did not touch the subject.
There's so much untouched areas.
Yeah, we did not touch
so many.
Yes. Now, to all my friends out there, friends of the A Collision with Purpose movement, let us pause and reflect where we are right now in our lives. Every day we stand before what I call the mirror of truth. A mirror that doesn't just reflect who we are. It also reveals who we could be. Each moment in front of the mirror of truth is profound. But here's something I want you to understand. Insight without action is like a spark that never catches fire. It is up to us to ignite that spark and let it burn into something transformative. So let me ask you, anyone who's listening and anyone who will listen to this podcast, what does your truth require of you? I want you to think about it, right? Because if fear stared back at you, are you ready to confront it today? Or will you let it hold you back for another day? If you saw a glimmer of potential, would you lean into it and let it grow? And if you notice brokenness, will you take the first step towards healing, or will you let that pain continue to weigh you down? I think too many of us are falling into that trap. Too many of us. So tonight, I'm asking you to acknowledge that truth is uncomfortable. Yes, it is. But you must understand that truth is never born from comfort. I want you to know that today is not the day to shrink and step back. It is the day to move forward with courage, not in the absence of fear, but with the resolve to press on despite fear. Here's what I want to leave with you. Take that truth you see daily and don't just think about it. Declare it. Say it out loud. Say, I see the truth and today I commit to doing something about it. Let that commitment be your compass for the rest of today and for the rest of this year, for the rest of your life. And again, please write it down, whatever that commitment is, whatever that declaration is, and share it with someone who can hold you accountable. And again, let that declaration serve as a reminder that today is the day to take a step, however small that step is, towards the person you're meant to be. So as we close tonight, remember this: the reflection in the mirror is not permanent. It changes as you do. So I challenge you. How will your reflection look tomorrow if you choose to act today? What ripple effect will you send into the world by stepping into your truth right now at this very moment? Let the discomfort you feel guide you, not away from your purpose, but directly towards it. Donna, I'm going to turn it over to you to take us out.
All righty. Oh, wow. So I am just going to say that what a phenomenal show this has been this Thursday evening. What a way to start off the new year. Miss McIntosh, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence.
You're welcome.
And sharing with us. We do not take it lightly. We are very grateful and we're humbled that you said yes to be here with us, right? And of course, we extend our invitation, like Dr. Stephenson said, so much more to cover. So we definitely extend our invitation for you to come back and join us another Thursday evening. To our guests, I know we have been on for quite some time, but what a powerful show this has been. So we thank you for joining us. We thank you for staying on with us and for spending your Thursday evening with us. So once again, we do not take your time for granted. We hope that something on this evening's episode sparked something in you and have inspired you. It's a new year, new beginnings, so much more that you can do to reset and start over for the new year. I would also like to say there are so many things that's happening in the world, right, that we can talk about. But I'd like to ask everyone to, keep everyone in prayers, check on your family members, check on your friends. We're having here in the States, California is on fire. A lot of people are losing different things. So, keep those individuals in prayers so that no lives are lost. And if there's any, that everyone will be safe and they'll be able to contain the fire, because they're having trouble containing this massive fire that is taking place currently. So let's just keep those individuals in the state of California, Los Angeles, in our prayers. And I'm going to ask everyone, go out there and do one act of kindness, or several acts of kindness, but at least one act of kindness for someone tomorrow. It's going to be probably going to be called like a Kindness Friday. I don't know. I'll come up with a name. But you're going to have to do something for someone, and it's going to be a stranger. Do one act of kindness for a stranger, someone that you do not know, whether it's, buying them coffee, a sandwich, something. But I'm charging everyone to go out there and let's start the year off on a positive note, and let's just show kindness and love to each other. And with that, have a wonderful week.
And
Yeah.
Sister Marsha, we ask you to
Same to you.
stay behind for a second, okay? All right, we're out.
Forge your life and the strong survive. A trail is written of hearts that strive. Through fire and flame, they find their way.